Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special Invasion Block Phantom Draft here on the channel. Invasion Block is a format that involves invasion, plane shift, and apocalypse. It is from 2001, so this format of draft is over 20 years old, and we're going to be drafting it today. Now, the first thing to note is it is a multicolored format, and it's also a very old format, so spells are generally much more powerful than the creatures. So let's look at this. 5 mana for a 4/6. It's got huge downside, so we can't really play that because it just does nothing. This card is actually very good. 5 mana, 3/3, gain 3 life would be kind of middle of the road here. Also, apologize if there's any traffic noises in the background, but here it's pretty good. 5 mana, 3/3 flyer is just on rate for those days. Prevent all damage, Dustwalker, counters in fear. This is just a combat trick. This card's pretty annoying as Regenerator. Tribal Flames can be pretty good. And then just like random stuff like this. But I'm going to take the flyer. 5 mana, 3/3. Seems pretty reasonable to me. Gains some life. It's overall a relatively slow format. Flyers are pretty good. And then like cards like this, pretty reasonable as well because the creatures are smaller. So this is like 2 mana, deal 2. And then you can get rid of regeneration shenanigans as well. Tower Drake, nice little flyer. Daragaz's Attendant, 5 mana, 3/3. You're not really sacrificing that for mana. 2 mana, 2/2 with Pro Red. Definitely annoying. Protection is a really powerful mechanic. So kind of my strategy for this is to just take the most powerful cards, figure out what's open, and then really prioritize fixing because fixing is hard to come by in this set, and it is kind of a multicolored set. Here, I'm tempted by Galina's Knight. It's really, really strong if I am in that color. There's Glimmering Angel. 4 mana, 2/2 flyer. Not really in the market for that. Not really in the market for this either. This is just a really weird card. I don't think it's very good, though. Just seems really hard to use. But yeah, Scorching Lava is interesting. Ooh, Captain Sisay. Searching for a legendary creature isn't going to do much, though. Let's see, there's Vidalian Zombie. There's like a whole cycle of these cards, I'm pretty sure. 6 mana, 4/4, also just pretty reasonable. Like as a top-end card. This is destroy an artifact. Okay. Cauldron Dance. Only during combat. What the heck? So you return a creature from your graveyard to the battlefield and then it goes back to your hand. And you can put a creature from your hand onto the battlefield. That seems weird to me. Very weird. This is a weird land. You don't really want these sacrifice lands. Give a creature flying. Elves. That seems pretty good to me. It can just be good fixing. As I said, fixing is important. It also can ramp you up. Not that ramp is as important in these older sets. I just don't really want to take Vidalian Zombie. There's another query on Elves. We already have one of these. Could be a ramp or more ramp deck. This is a bit of fixing as well. 5 mana, 3/3, not really where I want to be yet. 3 mana, 1/4. You can see all these creatures are pretty understated. You have a creature -2, -0, not really where you want to be. This is really annoying. Just like makes it hard for them to kill your key threats and just can threaten +1/+1 if you're a green-white deck. 4 mana, 2/2, flying first strike. Draw a card, gets +1/+1 for 3 mana. So it's like 3 mana, 2/2, or 6 mana, 4/4. I'm tempted, honestly, by this land as well, but I think I'm going to take the Elves. So I can maybe play like a... I can work towards a Bant deck, maybe. At least at this point in time. Recover. Return target creature from your graveyard to your hand, draw a card. That's a really good card advantage engine. Target player loses a life, target creature gets +1/+1. Not really where I want to be right now. Protection from red. Target creature gains protection from red. Really good sideboard card, or even main deckable in some spots. Sometimes there are cards that care about paying black mana for them, so that's good for those cards, but not really where I want to be. This card's a card. This card's 3 cards instead for 6 mana. That's pretty scary. I like this one. It's more straightforward value. This card's just really good against black and green creatures. Or I mean, against green creatures, not black and green. +1/+0 for each basic land type. Shackles. This is a solid removal spell. But that creature has to be tapped to begin with. But you don't really get high quality removal in the same way as we're used to. I would take Hypnotic Cloud if I wasn't taking Recover here. I think 6 mana for that effect could be good. Riptide Crab. When it dies, draw a card. 3 mana, 1/3. Enters the battlefield. Add 1 mana of any color, so it can help fix your mana. But it's also just a 2 mana, 2/1. Overload's not particularly good. Crystal Spray. Change text to target spell by replacing all instances of one color word. This is just a weird, funky card. I'm just trying to get my, like, kind of mana set a little bit. I could take Vidalian Zombie. Maybe I play, like, a Sultai deck instead of a Band deck. I think I want to build around these Quirion Elves a little bit. But I'm just going to take the Zombie. Protection from colors is really good in the right situation. Ooh, Scouting Trick. You just don't really use this card. It was a different one than I thought it was. Desperate Research. That's not really good. Zap, pretty good card. Vidalian Serpent. Yeah. 6 mana, 6/6 is huge, but not being able to attack is pretty big downside. Baron's Unmaking. Just weird cards here. Can't attack unless a black or green creature also attacks. It can still block, though. 5 mana, 4/4 is honestly huge. I'm going to take this card. Over. Just, if you've been noticing the creature sizing, 5 mana, 4/4 is a big creature. This is like a 3 mana, 1/5 almost, because you can block and then activate its ability. Cursed Flesh just gives -1/-1/-1. There's Stun. There's Elephant as a 4 mana, 2/2. It forces him to block. 1 mana for +2/+2 is honestly huge. Lobotomy is not very good. It's like one of the original, like, name a card and get rid of it. +1/+3 and flying. I'm just going to take the growth. This is the wheel. This card's still not good. Savage Offensive. Creatures get first strike. And +1/+1 if you're playing red-green. Target land becomes a swamp. Honestly, could be helpful if I'm playing red-green and then I splash a little bit. I'm tempted just to take another Explosive Growth, though. I'm going to take the Slimy Kavu. I think the potential fixing is pretty valuable. I could also just see, yeah. First strike, change it well. It's kind of like fixing, but not really, because you already need to have black mana for it to work. Sure, I'll just take a red creature. Ooh. This card's pretty good just because it threatens the buff, and so they really have trouble blocking a lot of the time. They have to eventually trade for it. Restraint's pretty annoying in some situations, too. Sure, we'll just take the creature. Kavu Scout. Could be a 3 mana 3/2. Kills artifacts. Gives reach. Not really interested in either. Scouting Trick. Not really a good card. So blue did not seem open. Black didn't seem particularly open. Green seemed pretty open, though. And then we first picked a white card, and there just wasn't that many good white cards we saw. It's important to factor in, like, power level of cards that you saw. Like, this card's just not very good, even in this day and age. But having a pretty decent red-green start for Forsaken City. And then we're probably going to splash. Oh, that's just terrible. You have to exile cards. Definitely not going to be interested in that. Let's look at Multani's Harmony. Creature can tap for any color. Ambitious Kavu. When it blocks or becomes blocked, it gets +3/+3. So it's hard to block for blue-black decks. Rith's Grove is probably going to be the pick. Even though it looks really tough, it's just... You just got to suck it up to get the mana. Fleetwood Panther. This card's pretty good, too. But I'm just going to take the mana fixing. 3 mana, 3/4. Flash is just really good, even though you have to bounce your own guy. Cavern Harpy, similarly good. Hunting Drake, pretty dang good. This card's really annoying against a lot of decks. I don't think I'll be able to wheel that. Sleeping Potion's sometimes good interaction. I think it's between Rith's Grove and the Hunting Drake, honestly. Hunting Drake is really good. Blue didn't seem open pack 1, but blue does have some good cards. I do have a pretty decent green base. I'm not going to play this card. And if I wanted to splash white, it wouldn't be that hard. Hunting Drake is more of a... Not always good for every matchup, though, so we'll just do this. Natural Emergence. Enchantment. Lands you control are 2/2s with first strike. They're still lands. You have to return a red or green enchantment to its owner's hand. How many do I have? I have 1. Man, I'm feeling really good about this Whip Silk now. This is a card that I could maybe use. Making all my lands into 2/2 first strikers? What? Red or green enchantment. That's really risky, though. There's Singe, deals 1 damage. It's also Calder Akavu. I guess it's only really good if you're a black deck, though. What's Kyrian Explorer? That's pretty good. Each black creature your opponents control. I kind of just want to take Kyrian Explorer and then try to wheel the Natural Emergence because I don't think anyone else is going to be able to play it. Maybe they can. Seems pretty dang good. I do have 2 enchantments, but I don't think that's enough. Oh my gosh, what? Yeah, I had the audible there. This card, I didn't read it, but this is insane. I already have white fixing from these guys and the Quirion elves, but look at this. Look at the sizing of the creatures and then realize how good it is. If a sorcerer would deal damage to a creature you control, it deals that much damage -1. So it just basically makes all of my opponent's creatures smaller in combat. And now I can take this Leaf Paladin. I think this is the pick. It seems like it. It also replaces itself. It just makes combat a nightmare for the opponent. And it stacks. So if your opponent tries to do a double block, both of those cards don't double block properly. What's this do? Any number of artifact into creatures. Okay, so it's a super slow card advantage engine. I think that might be a little bit too slow. But this card's going to be good for me. Rushing River's a bounce spell. 3 damage to any target. That's pretty dang good, but we're going to take the big creature. You got to prioritize the big creatures sometimes. Horned Kavu. Return a red or green creature you control. This card's really dang good. Deals 2 damage to target blue creature. Gaia's Might, +1/+1. Black and green. This would actually be a good card for me too. This card would be nice. This card would be nice. This card like single-handedly beats blue decks though. I'm not going to take this card even though it's okay, I think. Maybe I'll wheel the combat trick. I'm just going to take the Slingshot Goblin. Thunderscape Familiar is tempting, but these games tend to go long, and so you don't really need the cost reduction as much as you might think. Ooh, baby, we got a Kyrian Explorer now. That's nice. There's also another Steel Leaf Paladin. Maybe I'll just take the Steel Leaf Paladin. What the heck? Oh my gosh. That's a pretty devastating card. I think I'm just going to stick to my Naya guns, though, here. This card's tempting. There's 2 mana, Mana Rock. Mana Elf. I feel like these big creatures are going to win me the game, though. Season is actually a very playable card. It's the sort of card that you need to play a lot of the time. Just for mana fixing. I'll take a Stone Kavu, though. Just hits like a truck sometimes. Season's good. Another Steel Leaf Paladin might be good. Maybe Steel Leaf Paladin's worse than I think it is. Red and white spells cost 1 less to cast, and it's a 2 mana 2/1. Sign me up. Stone Kavu, medium. Goblin game, not playable because it's like a... It's like an anti-card. It's like one of the only cards banned in Vintage. Whoa. So you can just fetch any land for 3 mana. I'm going to play the Thunderscape Familiar, though. It's going to make my red spells cost less, and my white spells cost less, which is really good for the Steel Leaf Paladins. It's +3/+3. That's a pretty huge buff in size. Gaia's Might. Probably gonna give +3/+3 for 1 mana. I'm just gonna take Stone Kavu. I'm just gonna be that guy. Target land becomes a forest. I don't think I needed that effect. Maybe it's like the Amphibious Kavu. Not the best card. Maybe this card's worse than I think it is. I'm getting it pretty late. Each black creature deals 1 damage to target creature. Kavu. I'm just going to be the Steel Leaf Paladin guy. This will be my sideboard tech. Gaia's Might, nice. I'm glad I got one of those back. Root Greevel. Sure. I think this is a cool deck. Oh, I also get to bring back in my Angel of Mercy. Nice. I guess that one card didn't wheel. I have 3 2-drops that are all pretty good for my deck, which I like. Oh, this card's insane. 5 mana 6/6 is already huge for this format. This is a 6 mana 4/4. Let's just look at all the cards I can pay 2 life, prevent 1 damage. Yeah, so this card, Razorfin Hunter, is fantastic. Just kills a lot of stuff. Bognar, 5 mana. When they cast a black spell, it gets +2/+2. This isn't a great pack for me. 1 damage to each creature without flying. It's like a board sweeper. To each creature. So it's like a board wipe. That's pretty interesting. Like I can deal 3 to everything or something. I might just try to splash Spirit Monger. Splashing is really tough, but that card's way better than everything else in this pack for me. I mean, I already have kind of the 6-drop slot filled out to some degree, and I could even splash the Recover as well. Yeah, it's that or Bloodfire Infusion. But Spearmonger's a heck of a card. Death Mutation. Oh my gosh. Jilt is such a good card. Sometimes you want to just put yourself into blue just so you can play Jilt, because this card is insane, pack 3. I mean, again, I think this card is really good. It's a slow format. Wait, how did I end up with Goblin Game? Did I get that last pick or something, or did I misclick somewhere along the line? I didn't try to take Goblin Game, that's for sure. Raka, 1 damage to deal to any target this turn. That's pretty good. It's +1/+1. This is definitely a very strong set compared to some of the other stuff we've been looking at. Tap 2 untapped creatures, tap a creature. It's between this guy and the Death Mutation. I think I'll take the Death Mutation and then just commit to going for some black cards as well in my build. Last Stand. 2 life for each swamp. You know, number of mountains. 1/1 for each forest. I'm not going to be playing blue, though. Even though this card's pretty dang good, too. 5 mana 3/3. Dodecapod. Just a 4 mana 3/3. We're going to take the Penumbra Bobcat, I think. Just a reasonable creature. Heck yes, Urborg Elf is exactly what we want, because it helps us fix for black mana while being a green creature. Our 2-drop slot's actually pretty good. I do wish I had some of those 2-drops that could tap for colors that my opponents had. 2 mana 2/2 flyer. This is the most powerful of the 3 sets, I think. You can give a creature -2/-0. You can give something flying. Multicolored creature from your hand onto the battlefield. That's pretty good with some of my stuff, even though you have to pay a card to do it. I don't know if it's actually any good. Permanent on top or bottom. If you control a blue or black permanent, target creature gets +1/+1. And black permanent gets +5. I don't have enough blue or black. But Urborg Elf was perfect for me. There's another Penumbra Bobcat. There is a Kavu Howler. I have a lot of Kavus. I'm going to take this card. 6 mana, 4/5. Look at the top 4. I'm probably going to draw a Kavu off that a lot of the time. Target land becomes a plains or an island. Hopefully I can wheel this guy. Making my land into a plains is actually pretty useful for my Kavu. Elf Knight, it's not a Kavu. So I'll hover that guy for now. Sack 5 land, search for a land for each basic land type. Oh, that's funny. Consume strength. +2/+2 and another creature gets -2/-2. That card's insane. Absolutely insane. Brass Herald. Oh my gosh, how many Kavus do I have? I have 1 Kavu, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 Kavus. That could be good. Goblin Ringleader, if only it was for Kavus. I'll take this Kavu, because it can help me get planes. For my white splash. The Way of the Kavu. I think this deck is pretty good. I don't know. I don't know exactly, but I think it's pretty reasonable. I'm going to play 18 lands, because my curve is insanely high. One other cool thing about the Steel Leaf Paladin is it can kind of reset my Quirion Elves, if the Quirion Elves are still alive at that point in the game. Do I just sideboard this guy in if I am against a blue deck? Maybe. And then just side this guy in if I'm against that sort of deck. Slimy can make black mana. Ooh, Bloodfire Infusion came back. That's nice. That gives me a little bit of a board wipe, maybe? I don't know. Do I even have any good red cards? I could just ditch red, but I have Rith's Grove, and red is a lot of my medium-sized creatures. But I could just play green, white, black. That might just be better. I'll just take this, though. I don't think I'm going to play that enchantment anyway. Kavu Glider. It's not a flyer, keep in mind, even though it looks like it would be a flyer. Okay. Huh. This is a classic situation. Let's see how that does. Got the Bobcat. Well, I have no idea if this deck actually ended up being okay. It seems reasonable. Seems reasonable. I could just ditch red, which I might do. Like if I ditch my red cards. My red cards do have some fixing in them. Like, and this card's pretty reasonable, I think. Making a land a swamp, making a land of plains. But then when I'm playing 18 lands, I can just play my green, heavy green deck. What's my most common type? That's a knight. Maybe it's still Kavu. These stone Kavus are pretty good with the red mana. And I do have a couple of them. And I have the Slingshot Goblin too, so I think I do want to play red because Slingshot Goblin's really good. But I want to play this for cover. I can just sideboard into a red deck, I think, if I'm playing against a blue deck, maybe. Recover is really good. Savage Gorilla. Not really what I want because I don't have blue mana. Maybe I'll get red mana from something. This Thornscape Familiar is still good for making my big white creatures cheaper. And then I'll play 18 lands. So let's just sort by color. Mostly green. So I'll play 9 forests. Actually 8 forests because I have Rift's Grove. So that gives me 9 green sources. 8, 11, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Wait, 12, 16, 17. So I can bias slightly towards one of the other colors. I have a few more. Oh my god. I have no idea what just drove by outside, but it was quite loud on my end. And then I've got 4, 8, 16, 17 lands because I've got the land that produces green and white. So that means I'll bias towards black because I've got Rift's Grove, which can make white mana. Add those to the deck. Add in Rift's Grove. I don't know how good this deck is, but we're going to give it a shot, and I'll see you folks in the matches. If you have been enjoying my channel and my videos and would like to contribute towards the success of my content going forward, you can become a patron at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. Patreon is a way for viewers to support the creators who they enjoy and gain access to some unique rewards in the process. So if you become a NicolaiBolas patron, you'll gain access to my card-by-card tier list for March of the Machine with my thoughts on every single card in the set as an extra bonus resource. And you can also gain access to drafts with me and things of that nature. There's a host of cool rewards over at the Patreon, but above all, the funds go towards helping the channel grow and thrive. And so for a couple bucks, you can gain access to some extra stuff and also help the channel succeed. I'd like to give a special shout out to those who support the channel at the credits level. It really does make a big difference. And without further ado, let's get to the games. Welcome to round number 1. We have a keepable hand here. Our elves can name black mana, and then we have all our colors. Okay, they're off to the races. Ooh, now we have all of our colors just naturally, which is really nice. Our elves could even name a different color to throw them off the scent, like red mana for our Kavu pumping or whatever. That might be better. No! The Greevil. I'm going to name red mana. I have a couple cards with red activations. I'm playing a forest so that this thing can still only add green. In case their color's screwed, I don't want to fix their mana. The Greevil is a bit of a miss. I don't really like it. We will see what we shall see. So far, we're off to a good start, I think. I'll trade this guy for this guy, if they do want to make a trade, I think. Because I kind of have my curve lined up. So I do want to always make sure that I have a creature that I can use. Okay, so they don't actually have a use for the mana. So I'll just take the 2 then. So they're missing lands. Huge. Just going to cast the Greevil. 4 mana 2/3 just clogs up the board here pretty well. I'm trying to keep their Explorer from being useful. My deck has some really good top end spells. Like a 6 mana, a 4/4 for a striker is just almost like unbeatable in combat in this age. And I have 2 combat tricks to help push them through, and I have quite a few of them. I just have some huge top end creatures that I'm just gonna be jamming. That's why I'm playing so many lands. So they can't give -2/-0 unless I play a black source. So I will go to combat. Sending in the Greevil. I'll play Plains because I don't want this thing to be able to activate. I'll play Thornscape Familiar. Then I'll play Bobcat. I might have turned this thing into something useful for them, which is unfortunate. But I'm hoping I didn't. Okay, so they found the black source on their own. Okay, this card is now officially really annoying. And my deck doesn't really have a ton of removal. Combat. They have 5 cards, and I know they're all spells, which is really bad for me. Oh, I would be so happy to kill the Disciple. That would be amazing. They must have a combat trick. Yeah. I'm okay with this, though. Getting rid of that Disciple is a big game for me. Okay, so they have 5 spells in hand. I have 3 lands. My board state has this guy in it, which is pretty nice. And I have some really big guys to draw into, so like if I draw my Spirit Monger or something, I'm going to be pretty happy. I'm going to start playing my swamps now, so if I do draw Spirit Monger, I can hold up Regenerate immediately. This turn I didn't want to give him double black. Okay, discards 2 cards. Okay. That's really bad for me. I can no longer cast my black spells. Get wrecked, Nicolai. They did sacrifice 2 lands to do it, but... Luckily, I can reset my Quirion Elves at some point here if I draw one of my Steel Champions. Oh, but that was super bad. Oh, no. Naming red for this guy is going to cost me. Going to cost me. Bog down, eh? I'm going to go for the defensive guy as might. Give this thing +2/+2. They can currently only pump this a single time. Because they have green, black, green. I'm just going to hope for the best on this one. If they do kill it, they use your removal spell to like essentially do nothing because I get my 2/1 back. I'm really hoping I draw a Steel Champion here. I've got a lot of top-end 6-drops in my deck. It would also be great if I could draw that cantrip that makes all their stuff do 1 less damage. I would love that. Ouch. What is happening? Their deck is going off with 2 mana. Aye. That's a draw. Big guy. No, the Spirit Monger. But I also lost the Recover. Oh my gosh. Those are like my 3 best cards. Oh my gosh. Recover would be amazing. Spirit Monger would be amazing, but I can't cast it. Like Last Night Fairy is just an insane card. Okay, I'll put Recover first, then Spirit Monger. I should have put that in a different order. Okay. So I now know the bottom 4 cards of my deck. If we get there. Eventually they're going to start drawing a lot of lands, and then I'll be ahead. Oh my gosh. They just have some big guys. I can't believe it. I milled my 3 best cards, and then this happens. Oh no. Oh no. These tree folk are really big. Like 3 mana 3/3 in this format is just massive. Oh my gosh. Why did I not learn to just play my lands out after last time? I still have an 8-drop in my deck. I guess maybe they would have saved that guy. Oh, gosh. I think I'm in okay shape. I have some pretty big creatures I can draw. I don't really have removal spells or flyers. This is a weird matchup. These games often go a really long time. At least I'm not playing my card that's anti-blue spells. So they can... They have like +2/+2 or something. They can pump this guy once. I don't know exactly what they have. That's super tough. If they have +2/+2, then this block is really bad for me. I'm just going to block like this. Sure, I'll take 7. I ate their 2/2, which is pretty good for me. That's a good draw. They can move 3, 6, 8, 9. So if I do swing out, they can have a... I'm just going to hit them for 8. And then I'll block their Lanimar guy or something. Or I'll chump block if they swing with both of these guys. If you're not going to block, you might as well attack. That's the way the saying goes. And they don't have enough green mana to like pump these guys up a bunch of times. Okay, now they do. Dang it. I will 100% block this Llanowar dead if they attack with it. I anticipate they have +2/+2 in their hand because that's what a lot of the tricks are. Which means they can go pump. Pump. But then they don't have enough green mana to pump again. I don't think. And then they're dead on the backswing if I don't block. Or they'd have to chump block. And then it gets real interesting. I have drawn a lot more lands than them. Look at this. I discarded 1, 2, 3, 4 lands. So this forces me to block something. Gonna block there and hope they can't kill me. Yep. So if I do draw a way to deal 1 damage, which I don't have, or a pump spell. Ooh. Interesting. So I would have 3 creatures that are bigger than theirs. I can hit them for 4 here. No. I think this is what I'm going to do. I'm at a low life total. If they have +2/+2, then any of their creatures hitting me would have been lethal. This guy now threatens to be not really lethal attacker. If only they were at 1 less life. I need to just keep drawing spells, because I'm going to start drawing spells and they're going to start drawing lands. Lands are okay for them as long as they're forests. But if they're not forests, they're pretty useless. But I've drawn 1, 2, 3, 4 more lands. Like, I've drawn 10 lands, and they've drawn 7. And we have, like, the same number of cards in our deck. Hmm. Maybe I can't beat a combat trick anymore. But they can't attack with this guy because then they can't pump twice, which is really good for me. And eventually I'm going to draw my 4/4 first strike, which will let me reset my Serpentine Kavu or something. I have a lot of top end guys. This has been a crazy game. Also, my opponent's not playing very fast, but such is the way it goes. I wish I had a swamp in play right now, but most of my black spells are on the bottom of my deck. The +2/+2 to a creature and -2/-2 to a creature would win me the game right here. So if I do not have a black source in play by the time I have that, I'll feel pretty bad. But I think at the time it was correct not to give them more black mana, or not to give them black mana, because they had played the Disciple, but they hadn't played a swamp yet. So I was holding them off of that because it was going to stop my attacks. Really annoying. Ugh, if only I had the card that made their stuff deal 1 less damage to my stuff. That'd be pretty good. Pretty good. They're deep in the tank. I have pretty good top decks here. I have a lot of expensive cards. And then I have a combat trick that'd be really good, because I have enough to pay the kicker for it to give +4/+4 to one of my guys. And then any of my guys would be able to threaten lethal. The problem is they're at a high enough life total that my guys aren't all threatening lethal. I think making this guy tap for red was actually okay, because giving this haste or giving this +1 is pretty good. Okay. They're playing their last card. Oh, they're going to let that tap for green. I think. I assume. Oh, it does any color. Okay. Oh, so now they can double pump. I mistapped there. That was bad. I should have tapped all my forests, because the Stone Kavu can't use green mana. If I just keep drawing spells and they just keep drawing lands, I'll be in okay shape, I think. So they can now pump 3 times. Heck yes, Angel of Mercy is such a huge draw. Oh, yes. Remember when I said a 3/3 flyer is really good, and also gaining 3 life is really good? My gosh. That's going to win me the game if they don't just draw a removal spell right now. Yes! Got the win. So let's see what they have. They have Gaia's Might. That's a good combat trick to know about. They can turn all lands into 1/1s. They can return their creatures. They've got Scarred Puma. They've got a bunch of discard spells. That's the main thing to keep in mind. So I need to play my colors. Play my hand. Get rid of my threats. Skyship Weatherlight seems amazing. If I can stabilize. Their deck seems actually relatively fast, though. This guy can block their 3/3s, kind of. Blocks or becomes blocked. It gets +3/+3. That's huge. I'm going to play that for sure. So I'm not going to bring in my red cards here. Even though this card would just kill their whole board and be pretty good, maybe. Okay, do I want Skyship Weatherlight? It is a pretty, nice card against all their discard effects and stuff. Just gives me a lot of access to my top end. I definitely want this guy. Combat tricks maybe are a little bit worse against them. I'm just going to cut Root Greevel, I think. I still think I want Death Mutation, even though I might have to discard it. I'm just going to be playing my lands out. I kind of want to play this card. I have so much mana. And they can't really deal with this, I don't think. Lash Knife. Maybe this card's just too slow. I'll just run it like this. Put in the Kavu for a Greevil. And then we'll think about whether it would be good for game 3. Okay, so on the draw, I need to draw a land for this hand to function, but I'm going to keep it. I have 2 draw steps to hit a land. And if I do, then I'm in good shape. Okay, perfect. Because the way Riftgrove works is it comes in untapped. So I can go plains, tap my lands, play the Bobcat. Oh, perfect. Now I don't even have to do that. They seem to be off to a solid start. Are they missing a land again? That'd be pretty good for me. Nope, they just have their 3/3. They just have an insane curve out of very good cards. Annoying, but we'll manage. On the draw, usually your first play being a Penumbra Bobcat would be okay, but not in this matchup, it would seem. Their Llanowar Dead is just too potent of a card, I guess. Or their Ebony Tree. That tree does so much damage. It just does so much work. If I do draw a Swamp, though, I'm going to win this game very easily. Spirit Monger is disgustingly broken. Ah, they have a Bobcat of their own. Spell. Ooh, Swamp. So not quite a spell. I'm in deep trouble. But that is a huge, huge draw, because now I can just jam Spirit Monger and hope for the best. That will be my strategy. It does suck to have all my Kavus in my hand at once. This is the easiest block ever. Just a 5-mana 6/6 is just so huge. And I even get a token behind. So I've taken 10 damage, but it's hard to pressure too hard in this world. And then I'll just hold up the regenerate to the rest of the game. And they won't be able to beat me. But I am just going to jam it this turn. Turn a black or red creature to its owner's hand so they can pump that. So they have to return this to their hand, which will buy me a little bit of time, which is nice. Lava Zombie. It can hit pretty hard, but I can just chump block it if I need to, and then I'll have my regenerate up. I probably won't even bother chump blocking it, though. I'll just take the hit from that for a turn. And then Spirit Monger will carry me. Spirit Monger is great because it can just eventually start attacking and then just plows down their guys. It's funny that I thought I was playing a red deck for a while this draft, and then I just kind of abandoned red because I didn't have any good red cards. But that's kind of how it is. You kind of have to pivot to where the power is. Because as you can see, Spirit Monger versus like Stone Kavu is just like, which one? They're both 5-drops. That's something they have in common. I think opponents are realizing that they maybe didn't want to cast that or something because they don't want to bounce this guy, but they have to. Or maybe there's some sort of Magic Online glitch where they aren't being allowed to bounce their tree folk, like it's not counting it properly. Oh, they bounced itself. Interesting. Looks like it's targeting itself. I doubt that was what they wanted. Them trading their Llanowar Dead is looking real rough now, because they could have used the mana from Llanowar Dead to cast it, and then played the Llanowar Dead again, and been in really good shape here. Sure, I would have traded my cat with their cat, but potentially a misplay costing them. This is the thing about Magic Online. That is why Magic Online is a lot less popular than Magic Arena these days, is because stuff like this happens where it's just like chess clock style. I mean, Magic Online also has a different interface. Like, as you can see, like my lands, my creatures, their creatures, it's much less clear what's going on unless you have like a narrator explaining it all. But also stuff like this. And I think this is one of the reasons why I initially liked Arena a lot, is because it's a lot faster. Okay, cool. So I know one of the 3 cards. I'll play the Plains. Spirit Monger. Pass turn. And they can technically attack me with this guy and then threaten to hit me for 6, but I'm just not going to block. And if they don't, yeah. And then I'll just like slowly play out my other cards. Yep, I'll take 4. I think they're probably just going to replay their guy. Yep. Play a Kavu. And pass. I'm just going to hold up Regenerate forever. Eventually I'll have deployed all 3 of these guys. Then I can start worrying about like playing, like attacking with Spirit Monger until I win. Okay, block here, block here, block here. They cast their spell and accidentally targeted my guy. Huh. Misclick, I guess. I was going to regenerate anyway. It wasn't going to matter. That's a tough one. Because they could have used it on this guy to keep their dude alive. And then it's a little bit more interesting. It's a little bit more interesting. Okay. Now I have double. Regenerate up. Just going to play the other Kavu. I am at 6 life, so I probably could afford to attack them here, but I'm not going to. There's no reason to risk it. No reason at all. They could also make you discard cards, but yeah. I think just doing it like this is better. Because they could have like end of turn, kill my Kavu, hit me for 2, pump spell, win the game or something. Whereas if I keep this guy back on blocks, they basically just are doomed. But yeah, old formats go long. They take a while because these creatures do not pressure very hard. Like my opponent went 2-drop, 3-drop, and then like another 3-drop, and I like didn't play something until turn 3, and then I skipped my turn 4, and then I played like my big guy on turn 5, and like kill spells aren't very good, especially because black removal spells often can't kill non-black creatures in this era a lot of the time. Like terror kills non-black creatures, I believe, or non-artifacts or something. But a lot of the times, like unconditional removal spells just struggle to kill big things. Regenerate's a problem, and they don't have white in their deck for enchantment removals. Also, as you'll see, classic 3-color versus 3-color matchup for this format. My opponent also just might not have enough time. It is a bummer that my opponent is playing kind of slowly, but not everyone's as familiar with Magic Online. And yeah, they did just kind of use Gaia's Might for no reason. Okay, here we go. Maybe they have a board wipe of some kind. That would be really doubtful. Tap that. This. Okay, return the forest. Three, four. Kavu. I will give it haste. If I played the other Kavu, I would have found this Kavu, which is kind of funny. Okay. Hit him for 4. Threaten a lethal attack next turn, maybe? 4, 8. No, not quite. 15. I am holding 2 lands, I guess, so if they did play their 1 discard guy, I'd be able to win. I'm playing this game very safe. Like holding up 2 black mana now. Yep, they deal 2 to me. That is why you kind of have to move a little bit, because you don't want them to just burn you out. Hopefully they don't have a burn spell that can kill me. That is good. I will attack with everything now. Because now I do have lethal 7, 11, 14, 15, 16. And I can put it on my regenerator so they can't kill it anyway. And if they do block something, I can use kicker or something. Was I supposed to play my land first? Do I have enough mana still? 1, 2, 6, and I can still hold up regenerate. Okay, so they blocked that guy. Sure. I'm hoping they don't have another burn spell that can deal 4. So I'll hold up this so I can use like all those abilities and hold up my explosive growth. Okay. Any order, it's not going to matter. It looks like we're about to get the win. Unless they found a burn spell off the top. Got the win. Win the match. 1-0. Took a while, but see you folks next round. Welcome to round 2. We have a very sketchy hand on the draw that I will keep. 4 spells, 3 lands. You can't keep these. You can't really keep a lot of hands in limited. I've got my 5 and a 4/4. I hope they don't start too fast. Of course, they have a 1-drop, but I have some cheap spells that I can draw. Of course, I only have 4 6-drops in the deck. You pretty much just don't want to mulligan hands in this format because you'll run out of... it's like a grindy attrition matchup a lot of the time. And as you can see, they didn't do anything on turn 2. It's not like they're pressuring me a ton. They just happen to have a 1-drop. They probably have a 3-drop, though. 3-drops are fairly common. Yeah, flyer. That's not good for me. Yeah, I would expect to draw something to do in the first few turns a lot of the time, but sometimes it doesn't happen that way. Oh man, I just had a terrible hand. Blue-white's a pretty good deck. Yeah. Terrible hand, did not get better. I would expect that to work out a decent percentage of the time. It's not going to work out this game, though. I'm just completely dead. This is also a terrible matchup for me. They have so many flyers. Yeah, I'm just going to concede. Cannot win this game. Oh, gosh. This might just be an unwinnable matchup for me. I knew I would struggle against flyers. I have this card, which I'm definitely bringing in. This is the sort of matchup where Slingshot Goblin does so much work. And I'm actually going to bring in my red just so I can play that. And I'm bringing in this because that's good against their flyers as well. What color do I shave on? Probably my white mana. Yeah. This card's a lot worse. These cards are a lot worse against flyers. Angel of Mercy is still nice. Still nice indeed. If I can afford it still, I might play it, but I'm probably not going to. Okay, so now we just we brought out 5 cards. We'll bring in 5 cards. What? Did I do the math wrong? We cut 1, 2, 3, 4. Add 4. Honestly, gonna add 5 and cut a forest. Oh, I brought in Whip Silk too. Right. What do I cut for the last slot? Probably a Stone Kavu. I'm cutting a lot of my top end, so I'm just gonna cut a land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. We're gonna do it like that. Hopefully this works out. Do have to mulligan this. And I can keep this. Even though it doesn't have as many good cards. Ditch that. And here we go. We're off to the races. Their deck seems pretty good. Blue tends to be a really good color in older formats because a lot of the blue spells are good. Like as you saw, Jilt. Jilt is like a premium card. What'd they get? Oh, they can tap it. Okay, neat. It might have been correct for me to get rid of my explosive growth just so I could consistently hit my mana. Thunder Kavu can be pretty good for enabling my... I guess I'm not playing white mana, so I don't need to play this Thunder Kavu. This card's like unbeatable. Oh my gosh. Currently not unbeatable, but it gets there. It gets there. This card's insane. Just like on board. It's like one of those cards that makes you want to have like stuff that... Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, I'm so dead. Their deck is insane. This was my one hope of this working, was them blocking here. Because I can't beat 2 of them. But I can beat 1 of them. Because it just prevents 2 damage. It's wild. Oh no, and now all target stuff has to go through that. I'm going to play the Stone Kavu. I've actually got a bit of a strategy here. Because now I can use this thing to make this swamp into a plane so that their domain goes down. Pretty cutesy. Oh no. We're engaged in a game of chicken here. Get wrecked. Onboard tricks are the best. That's tough. That is a tough break for the old opponent. Spectral Links. Oh my gosh. You're kidding me. It's the full gamut. Oh my. I'm just going to concede. I can't beat that card in a million years. Their deck is insane. Every card they've played is like the best card in the set. Who are they drafting with? What is happening? Like they're just playing like a different game than me. And they also have like this card, which I just literally can't beat. Like, I'm just going to look at my deck. All of my creatures are green. My kill spell has green in it. Like my only actual removal spell, I had it in my hand. It has green in it. Like my stuff just can't deal with that card. There's just nothing I have that can answer it. That's why old limited is sometimes tilting. But I'll see you folks in the final round. Welcome to the final round. I have a great hand here. All my colors. Some acceleration for my Steel Leaf Paladins. Oh, I'm on the draw. I always think I'm on the play in these spots. This is one of the best apprentices because it can tap stuff for relatively cheap. I think my deck is okay. I think it's one of the better decks I could have drafted given the seed I was in. I don't think I had like a crazy good deck pass me by. But you never know. Hindsight 2020 and all that. If I'd moved into black a little earlier, I maybe could have gotten some more good cards. I did think I was going to be a red deck. It's kind of hard in this set sometimes. But yeah, if I'd made the switch to black a bit earlier, I could have had a couple more powerful cards. I'm going to name red with this, as I did with that other one. This one's going to name black, so I'll have double black for my Spirit Monger. Having just a touch of red mana can be helpful for me, though. I don't think this card's very good. I'm not going to block, because they can give it first strike. You have to be aware of these onboard tricks at all times. Yep. That's a card. Personally, I guess they didn't really have a choice. They kind of had that as their only real play. Next turn I can play a Steel Leaf Paladin, which is nice. And I haven't even taken that much damage. I guess this card could have some potential if they're casting something huge off of it, or it's like enabling in their splash card. That's something I hadn't really thought about, but if it's a one use only and they're casting their late game splash off of it. But here I just need my guys to survive, so I can cast my 6-drop here. They can tap it, which is annoying, but they'd have to sacrifice this. Oh, they are sacrificing that. Charging Troll, okay. Well, let's do it. The big guys come to play. I'll bounce the one that can tap for red. And then I'll play the next Steel Leaf Champion Paladin next turn, and I'm in great shape. And they just can't attack into me anymore. This thing doesn't have white mana. Hopefully they're not playing white mana. But if they do, I can use that other guy. This is a risky play because if they kill my Quirion Elves in response, then I don't get to do what I want. I'm just going to pass, though. I'm a little bit worried about them having 4 mana up, because they can regenerate and get first strike and stuff. I'd much rather just safely get my guys down. And then next turn I can just start wailing. But they're missing land drops and not doing anything, so I'm just going to keep deploying my threats while that's happening. Because they do have 4 mana, and they have a regenerate and the ability to give first strike to something. And so, they know 2 of my cards are just elves, but getting a flyer into play is really nice. Once I start holding up Consume Strength, it's going to be really good. Okay, they do have white mana, so I'm going to have to use Consume Strength to kill this Thorn Escape Apprentice. I'm just going to get a big attack in. I'm at a high life total. And I don't think they can do too much. Unless this is like... I think they're probably playing a Naya deck. Okay. I have them on a 2-turn clock here. Might as well swing. And I want to kill this Thornscape Apprentice as well. Sure. I'm going to bounce this thing so I can gain the life. Again. They can tap it on the end step with the Thornscape. This card's really worrying me. I can't believe I have all 3 Steel Leaf Paladins in play. They can be for 3, 6, 7, 8. But I'm at 18, so I'm in good shape here. And if I draw another land, I can double these guys. Charging has Vigilance, which is kind of annoying. Bobcat, sure. I'm just going to play this. I can't play all 3 of my elves this turn, or I would. I'm just going to play it safe this turn. I've got a huge board presence. As soon as I kill this Thornscape Apprentice, I'm almost unbeatable, I feel like, until they have another removal spell. And I have plenty of gas in my hand. Consume Strength is going to be really good with the first strike. I think I'm going to name red mana for the Quirion Elves just for my Stone Kavu. Okay, can't attack. Sure. And they can make it so it can't block this turn. If only I had drawn... Okay, there we go. Go to combat. I'm going to threaten lethal here. They don't know it's a threatened lethal, though. They're going to definitely chump with their Penumbra Bobcat or something. Okay. I'm just going to fire this off. I kind of have to get rid of that thing. It's been really a thorn in my side. I'm tying up their mana a little bit. Their red mana is tied up, making this thing unable to block. Their green mana is tied up, regenerating this guy. And I just still have 2 huge attackers and a flyer. And I'm at 15. Yep. Six damage looks like a lot, but it's really not. I'm still at 9. I'm safe. And now that they can't tap my guys, then I can just hold back 1 Steel Leaf Champion every turn. Or just not attack with them in the first place until they deal with my flyer. Maybe I'm just been supposed to be doing that this whole time. Because this thing just regenerates anyway. But it's almost... They're going to run out of chump blockers eventually. This charging guy is really annoying. Okay, so they've got a 2/4 now. So I've got them on a 3-turn clock. Until they deal with this flyer, I think that my plan is just going to be to hit them with it. I still have my Spirit Monger. I'm going to get this for red mana. And now the Stone Kavu threatens lethal on its own. And now each Steel Leaf champion also presents lethal. They're in trouble, I think. They have 3 cards in hand. They're clearly not going to have kill spells for this guy. Well, that's a really good draw. Because they're going to go to 2, so they have to block all my guys. And this guy's just lethal on its own, so if they do tap all their mana to do something, I can give it +3/+3 to kill them. I was hoping to draw Gaia Might. Or my other combat trick, just so I could threaten lethal this turn. Now they just have to answer a lot of things. They have to deal with this guy and the combat trick on him. This guy, this guy. I'm hoping this works. This game gets a lot harder if they deal with my flyer. Oh no, they have something. What the heck is happening? Oh, that's so brutal. So I go to 4. Okay. Well, that's bad. And I still win. Okay, cool. Because they could just attack me with this thing. I chump, go to 1, attack with everything, and they die. Okay, I think that's how it goes, yeah. Well, that's a good card to know about. Captains, whatever. That could be good. I'm constantly tempted by this Weatherlight. This 1/4 does block their 3/3s and their 3/4. They're not playing blue, so I don't really want the Slinging Goblin. That's the only real reason for me to go into red. I don't really want a board wipe thing. I think I'll bring in the Llanowar Cavalry, though. Especially because I'm going to be on the draw. And then I might just cut Stone Kavu or Root Greeble. I don't think I need to Root Greeble. I have these Steel Leaf Paladins that are really good against their enchantment removal spell. Here we go. The final game, hopefully. This is a great hand. My sideboard tech coming in handy. We're going to keep this thanks to the Quirion Elves. Okay. That will lean me towards white mana, because if by the time I get to this guy I don't have black mana, I can bounce this guy to get black mana. Okay. No, come on, deck. Give me the lands I need. Oh, the natural Tron over there. What's it like? Yeah, I definitely can't block. I need this mana too much. In some situations I would block, but I have 2 Penumbra Bobcats coming up. I could have just played the Llanowar Cavalry. But this way, if they don't attack me, I can attack them. Harrow. Oh, that's a good card. That's a good card in this set. Really good fixing. So they're harrowing, and I'm missing land drops, and they have Thornscape Familiar, so their stuff costs less. Oh, this is super bad for me. This is so bad. I need to draw land this coming turn. Oh, gosh. What are they ramping into? This could be a case where they have all ramp, no spells. Yeah, this is going to be good for me, actually. Oh, yes. That could help me find a land. I think Lash Knife Barrier seems insane to me. I've never seen this card in my life, but it seems really good. 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And I am officially, I have only 12 spells left in my entire deck. The rest are lands, so I'm going to have to make do with what I've got in hand here. It is funny, though, that there's a Swamperoonie. I'll still trade the Bobcat for their familiar if they let me. Spearmonger's like my best card. Okay. I'm not going to hold up Gaia's Might. I don't want them to know I have it. And if I hold up green mana, they'll know I have it. It's a very minor thing, but there's like no world where I'm ever casting Gaia's Might on this board. And so, yeah. Yeah, especially not now. Nice little draw there. I'm not going to play the Spearmonger until I have the extra mana to protect it. I guess that might be a little bit too conservative, but yeah, it seems okay to me to do it like that. Not that red really has access to kill spells for it in this format. I don't think red has like deal 6s. So I probably could have just, yeah. And all combat damage, blue creatures and black creatures would deal this turn. Oh no! That's bad for me. I can't play my Spiritmonger now because I need that thing off the board before I play Spiritmonger, or they'll never ever... Oh, actually, I can change Spiritmonger's color. That's actually super funny. I think it works that way. I'm going to go for a Consume Strength play. They only have one card in hand. Choosing targets. Must choose. Yeah, so I can do this. So I got that off the board. So now my Gaia's Might can maybe help me kill this. Or they just have to block it. Ah, the Gladenar. Sure. I also have 6 mana 4/4s. Oh, that's good. I should have probably just played my Spiritmonger and tested the theory on that guy. I am curious. Blue creature and black. I don't know if it loses its other colors. I'll just quickly look that up on Gather on my phone while they take their turn. Spiritmonger. Gatherer. I'm sure it's one of the rulings. It's the sort of thing that people are curious about. Spiritmonger's last ability caused it to become only the chosen color. It will no longer be the colors it was previously. That's actually huge. Good to know. Good to know. Gosh, regenerate makes boards stall out so badly. I can't believe it. Oh my gosh. Punching through is going to be really irritating here. Another combat trick. Nice. I'm just going to do this. Should have done this a while ago and just started hitting them. Oh man, I've got both my combat tricks. I've got to recover if they do kill something important. This regenerator is so good. My gosh. This could be like a good card in today's era of limited, just because Vigilance and Regenerate is such a brutal ability. Brutal. +1/+1 for each basic land type among lands you control. Okay, that's scary. 6 mana, 4/6 is big. It's also important to remember that I have Lash Knife in play. So it looks like their creatures deal 7, but their creatures are really going to deal 6. If the first strike didn't kill the Wayfarer anyway. Got him. I think I have enough big creatures to punch through. That's kind of my deck's whole strategy, is to have enough big creatures to punch through. No! Now I need this thing to die so I can recover it so I can bounce my thing. That's an incredibly easy double block for me. Ooh, baby. Actually, I could have maybe gotten them with my Lash Knife if I blocked with the Stone Kavu and gave it +1 toughness, because it wouldn't kill. That was better. I didn't have to lose both my guys. Actually, I could have killed that thing risk-free by just double blocking with these two. That was bad. Okay, I'll take a turn off, if you insist. Actually, no, I'm going to attack anyway. These two guys are coming in. Gosh, I could have just killed their guy for free. That would have been so demoralizing for them. I totally forgot about my own Lash Knife after talking about how I shouldn't forget about my own Lash Knife. Gosh, the Steel Leaf Paladins are so clutch for me right now. I'm about in Alpha Strike range. Just attack all, use that thing. Yes! We got the win. 2-1 in Invasion Block Draft, a set from over 20 years ago. Still super fun to play. It's very different to play, but still a lot of fun. We had 2-0, 0-2. This deck was actually just insane, and then another 2-0. Honestly, our plan of just playing big creatures was pretty solid. I mean, sometimes it's hard to deal with a 4-4 first strike, especially when your creatures are like 3/3s for 5. And we managed to get there. Spirit Monger was amazing. We had the early ramp that was really important. We never played that card. Angel of Mercy won us games by itself, so our first pick actually does seem pretty good now in retrospect. We almost went with the red-green deck, but I think this deck was way better. And I think overall the draft was pretty cool and interesting as well. So if you did enjoy this video, let me know by leaving a comment, hitting that thumbs up button, subscribing for more. And if you made it all the way till the end of the video, in the comment section down below, leave hashtag go big or go home, because we got real big with our creatures and we sent a lot of opponents home. That's going to do it for this one, though. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you next time.